police are cracking down on crosswalk laws in an effort to lower the rising number of deaths for Utah pedestrians.
The Unified Police Department has developed a new tool to fight crime.
Jewelry thieves in Australia let the stolen loot slip through their fingers a little too soon. Welcome to Newsline. It's Wednesday, April 3rd. I'm Madeline Reber.
And I'm Paula Kiko Chandler. Police believe they have found a vehicle involved in a South Lake City hit and run. The crash happened near 33,000 South and Main Street last month. Two recently unsealed search warrants revealed the exact car that killed one pedestrian and injured another. The registered owner of the vehicle was tracked down and interviewed, but he is no longer considered a suspect. The investigation is still going.
A 15-year-old from Ogden is still in juvenile detention after shooting and killing his stepbrother. A judge declined to release the teen Tuesday and instead ordered an evaluation ahead of a hearing later this month. The judge said she wanted to be sure he receives counseling and proper supervision if he is released ahead of trial. The teen will be held in juvenile detention for at least 2 more weeks. A warrant for a former Utah State football player has been arrested. Arrest has been issued. A 23-year-old Lamar Anthony Dawson, who was accused of rape, was charged Tuesday in court with first-degree felony. Dawson was originally enrolled at Utah State last June as a redshirt sophomore, according to the team roster, but he is no longer listed as a player for the 2019 Utah State football season due to the warrant for his arrest.
Penalties are being increased for hate crimes in Utah. Yesterday, during a ceremony at the state capitol, Governor Gary Herbert signed a hate crime bill. The bill enhances the punishment for crimes when a victim is targeted because of their race, religion, sexual orientation, and a long list of other characteristics. Stories of recent hate crimes in the state made a big impact on this bill being passed. Crimes in Salt Lake City can now be reported from an app. The Unified Police Department headquarters released a mobile app yesterday that is meant for reporting crime and connecting with police officers. The app can be found in the App Store for both iOS and Android by searching for Unified Police Department. Other resources that the app include are a list of missing persons and a contact information for school resource officers. UPD Sergeant Gray wants to make it very clear that the app is not a substitute for calling 911.
Right now, police officers across the state of Utah are paying close attention to crosswalks. So if you're driving anywhere today, you might want to think twice about how fast and how close you're driving near a crosswalk. Newsline reporter Danny Hallows is live in Provo. Danny, why are police officers cracking down on crosswalk safety?
Yeah, the Utah Department of Public Safety recently released a report that said 1,000 pedestrians were hit by cars in the last year. So here's what happens. A car comes by, they get close to the pedestrian, they don't give them the right of way, and then they get within 3 feet. That's all breaking the law, and that's when it's game over.
Crosswalks. We walk in them, we drive by them, they're everywhere. In just 1 square block, there can be at least 20 crosswalks. Sometimes it's too easy to cruise through them, and then it's too easy to miss someone walking by. Local law enforcement agencies in Utah are worried about the rising number of pedestrian crashes.
I mean, just now coming down, like, I was stopping at a crosswalk and I was good to go, but a car wasn't paying attention and just turned right in front of me. So I stopped, I was paying attention, but so they waved at me because they felt bad, but.
Almost half of those crashes happened in marked crosswalks at big intersections like this one. The pedestrians hear the beeps, but drivers usually don't.
I feel it's pretty dangerous because cars will pull forward over the crosswalk, and in order for you to cross here, you end up walking into potential people turning left and not seeing you.
If drivers get too close to a pedestrian or fail to stop even for a pedestrian in an adjacent crosswalk, the police can ticket or warn a driver.
You're going to get to your place far faster than I'm going to get to mine, so please look at the crosswalk. It's not going to, if you miss the light, it's not going to take you that much longer.
The leading cause of these crashes were because drivers just didn't let people cross. So if you're out and about today, watch out. Wait just a few more seconds. It might save a life.
Yeah, so normally accidents between cars and pedestrians happen between 3 p.m. and 8 o'clock at night. That's rush hour traffic. Kids are coming home from school, parents are leaving work, and that's when police officers throughout the state will be dressing as normal people undercover to catch drivers who aren't following the law. Reporting live in Provo, I'm Danny Hallows. Back to you.
Thanks, Danny.
Reusable straws are taking a big sip and a slurp in Utah thanks to entrepreneur Jeremy Smith. When California became the first state to ban plastic straws, Smith had the idea to create an easy-to-clean reusable straw called the Rain Straw. Smith and his business partner Sean Watkins created a straw that splits in half, so cleanup is easy as using it. The product recently launched on Kickstarter, and as of yesterday, they have surpassed their $12,000 goal by over $100,000. Expect to see the straw available for purchase by July of this year.
Homeowners and renters spend a lot of money on utilities. Reporter Nikki Wilson is here to share 5 tips on how to make home energy more efficient. Nikki?
State and national websites have some great resources on this. And a lot of solutions are surprisingly simple. When most people hear of energy efficient homes, they think of solar panels and windmills. But there's more to home efficiency than renewable energy. The United States Department of Energy has a manual with several tips to help homeowners save money and use new technology to their advantage. Here are just a few. The first trick is free. Air dry your clothes. A typical clothes dryer ends up costing $96 per year just to run the machine. Tip number 2, seal your house. Mitchell and Tiffany Spence founded Living Zenith, a company that focuses on creating home energy efficiency, walkable neighborhood layouts, and smart technologies. They recommend air sealing the home. The tighter, the better.
It makes your home more comfortable, more efficient, cheaper utility bills, and that's before they do windows.
Tip number 3, switch your light bulbs to LED, CFL, or halogen incandescent lights. Tip number 4, install low-flow shower heads and bath and kitchen faucets. Low flow doesn't mean low pressure. It does mean reducing water consumption by as much as 60% according to the U.S. Department of Energy. Tip number 5, unplug appliances when they're not being used. Some appliances will still use up some power even if they're turned off, so pull the plug. Tiffany Spence says that energy efficiency promotes health and environmental awareness.
I got involved in this, and what I realized is that there are a lot of myths and misconceptions.
She hopes that no matter what a person's living conditions are, they'll get educated now on how to make important home improvements. You can visit energysaver.gov for more information on home energy efficiency. Back to you.
The Zion Mount Carmel Highway will be closed again for 3 weeks beginning April 9th. The road in the park will be fully closed from the Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel to Canyon Junction in order for a federal highway contractor to remove a section and rebuild the road. Officials say the east side will be limited to smaller vehicles between the east entrance and the Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel.
You may need to make room in your budget for more of your streaming services. Netflix plans to raise rates again. The streaming service will increase plans in the U.S. by $1 to $2 over the next billing cycle. Netflix says the increased revenue will help it in more television shows and movies. The company has been heavily investing in original content, and it budgeted $8 billion for new shows and movies in 2018.
President Donald Trump is still threatening to close the U.S.-Mexico border. If and when he'll actually close it, and who will be affected.
It's a good thing, and I'm glad they did, and he's off the street.
The suspect for the death of rapper Nipsey Hussle has been arrested. Find out who police brought into custody.
See what anticipated trailer is the #1 trend on Twitter.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
How does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints just received official recognition for its leaders and organization in the state of Kuwait. Recognition from the Kuwait government will better help local leaders, church leaders serve the nearly 300 members that live from there all around the world.
President Trump is threatening to close the U.S.-Mexico border, and the results could be catastrophic if the threat is finalized.
It brings a lot of economy back to Mexico, and it also helps the United States to acquire products on good quality, or things that are not able to grow there.
Many businesses, especially U.S. car manufacturers, depend on parts and labor on the Mexican side of the border. Mexicans are waiting anxiously to see this latest crisis with the economic powerhouse to the north will be resolved.
Fans reacted yesterday to the arrest of a suspect in last week's death of Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle.
A role model, you killed a leader, you killed somebody that was trying to save your life.
Community members reacted to the arrest of 29-year-old Eric Holder. Holder was arrested yesterday just hours after he was identified as the lead suspect. Holder was identified through witnesses and surveillance video showing the moment Nipsey Hussle was gunned down. Australian police are currently looking for two clumsy jewelry store thieves. As seen in this video, a burglar was caught on a jewelry store surveillance camera, spilling the loot and frantically trying to collect the pieces before escaping with another person on a motorcycle. The two thieves allegedly broke into the jewelry store at the shopping center in Perth, Australia around 2:20 a.m. on Monday morning. Police released the video seeking for information from the public.
College tuition is on the rise here in Utah. Find out how much tuition will go up and what effects it may have on the community.
Actresses are in court after bribes to get their daughters into college. Find out how much was bribed and what happened to the actresses.
It's raining today, and though you won't be able to taste a rainbow, you might be able to see one. What's so special about today and why rainbows occur at all?
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at savethefood.com.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
The first Joker trailer was released and people are getting excited for the new look at the iconic character.
Ali Arnold has more on the movie and the reactions on social media. Ali?
I used to think my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a comedy. This is a quote from the new Joker trailer that's getting DC fans pumped. The movie centers around the origin story of Batman's infamous arch-enemy, the Joker. Many are excited about Joaquin Phoenix's unique take on this iconic supervillain. One user wrote, "Joker looks like an intensely character-driven drama that interweaves social unrest in an increasingly deteriorating city that just happens to be focused on an iconic comic book character." Yeah, I'm all the way in. Another commented on the new trailer saying, "This looks wild, dark, psychological thriller. Longtime Joaquin Phoenix stan, can't wait." Some are anticipating how this new look at the Joker will compare to the character in the past. This user said, "I commend Jared Leto, but this, whether it works or not, is exactly the type of unique take that we need." Another user joked, saying, "Also, why is there another Joker? I'm like 7 Jokers old now." Some fans are even coming up with conspiracies like this one who theorized, "Is this Bruce Wayne?" And all in all, people can't wait. This user said, "Everyone, say thank you to Joaquin Phoenix," and this one is already ready for Oscar season, saying, "Me on my way to Joaquin Phoenix's house after watching the Joker trailer."
Jokes aside, UVU has confirmed that tuition will be rising for the 2019-2020 school year, but they're not the only university rising costs. NewsLine reporter Amber Peterson found out who else will be affected by the higher prices.
That's right, UVU will be raising tuition by 1.5%, and on the other end of University Parkway, BYU will be raising tuition by 3% for the upcoming school year.
UVU has discussed raising tuition for a while now, and the university finally got what they wanted. The university will raise tuition by 1.5%, which means a $75 increase for in-state students and a $233 increase for out-of-state students. Even though the amount for in-state students may seem small, it's a pretty big jump for students themselves.
It's already hard enough to pay for it as it is. Any small amount that a college student can save is a big amount.
By increasing tuition, UVU will gain approximately $1.5 million for the school year. The university has said that 80% of the tuition raise will be going towards professor salaries. BYU is also raising tuition for the 2019-2020 school year, but they have different plans for what the money will be used for. BYU plans to use the additional money to fund supplies, library and lab materials, and travel. The 3% increase will have LDS students paying an additional $85 and non-LDS students paying $170. Even though the increase is larger than UVU in percentage, BYU will still have lower tuition due to their affiliation with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which subsidizes tuition for students. As tuition rises for many colleges around the nation, school is becoming more difficult for students to pay for and remain debt-free. Corey Rockovitz says he has to pay for tuition 100% out of pocket because he doesn't receive financial aid.
No, not federal aid because my parents make too much, and not scholarships because I was too dumb in high school. I didn't get any sports scholarships or anything like that either, so I mean, it's 100% on me.
The new tuition prices for both universities will go into effect beginning fall 2019.
Two of the most recognizable people in the college admission scandal will see a judge today. Kristen Holmes reports from the courthouse in Boston with more.
It's lights, camera, plea in a Boston courtroom today as actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman face a judge in the largest college admissions scandal in history. Loughlin and her husband accused of paying $500,000 in bribes to get their 2 daughters into the University of Southern California, while Huffman is charged with disguising $15,000 as a charitable donation that went to altering her daughter's SAT scores.
These parents are a catalog of wealth and privilege.
Last month, prosecutors arresting 50 people in the scheme dubbed Operation Varsity Blues, orchestrated by William Rick Singer, the CEO of a college prep company. The scheme allegedly worked in one of 2 ways: through cheating on standardized testing or through athletics, bribing coaches to falsely classify the applicant as a recruited athlete. Singer is cooperating with authorities.
Students were kept out of school because of what you did. What's your reaction to parents?
Meanwhile, many universities have fired those coaches involved. Others say they are reviewing the admitted students connected to the scandal. In Boston, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
April showers bring May flowers, but if you're lucky, they may also bring rainbows. Today is National Find a Rainbow Day. Rainbows are made when light in water droplets is reflected and refracted, which is why they're often visible after a shower when the clouds clear and the sunlight shoots through all the moisture in the air. So after the rain clears today, you might be able to find your own rainbow, or at least use it as a good excuse to head outside and look towards the sky. And as we do look towards the sky, we are seeing in Utah, the weather that we're seeing, the rain that we're experiencing right now is going to clear up as the day goes on. And then it's actually likely going to come back a little bit this weekend. That's where we're hopping to right now. But still, chances of rain are only about 20%. So we're still looking at mainly either cloud cover or sunshine, not a whole lot of rain. Temperatures are going to be consistent throughout the week, only dropping once really in all of the week, and I think it's Friday. As we go to our highs for today, we'll actually see Salt Lake City is at a 54, Provo's at a 54, St. George is at a 71, Vernal's at a 53, but across the board temperatures are all 50s or higher, which is very comfortable for all of us who want to go out and experience, maybe hunt for some rainbows. As we go to our lows, Salt Lake City is at a 42, Provo's at a 40, Richfield is dropping down to a 34, and St. George is dropping to a 48, which is actually lower than they've been dropping in the last few days. So there are a few lower temperatures, but still fairly comfortable across the board. Our 5-day forecast for southern Utah is looking at 70s, 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 and then let me get out of the way, and you will see that it is going to be 80s come next week. So it's going to become very warm down south. So if you like that, then you're going to have great week. Northern Utah is looking at cloud cover. Once again, we may get some showers in Friday, Saturday. Once again, that's only about 20% chance. But otherwise, temperatures are steady across the board. Coming up, I'm actually going to be reporting on sports, starting with Tom Brady, who joins Twitter on April 1st and makes a joke at the expense of the NFL. How he scared football fans and teammates alike. Bryce Harper returns to Washington to a rough crowd, how his old fans treated him, and then how he did in the game.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Last night, the National Hockey League had a lot of intense games across the board. Most notable were the Los Angeles Kings versus the Arizona Coyotes and the Boston Bruins versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. 8th-ranked Kings came out with a win against 4th-ranked Coyotes in the Pacific Division last night 3-1. With some turnovers by the Coyotes and saves from the Kings, they were able to beat the Coyotes, returning from a loss to them in March. In the Atlantic Division, the Bruins had a big win against the 5th-ranked Blue Jackets in the Metropolitan Division, beating them 6-2. The Bruins pulled ahead the entire game. The score 5-0 by the end of the third period, and the Blue Jackets scoring twice in the last period. There are 3 games tomorrow night starting at 5:30 p.m. While Arizona had some tough luck in hockey, they had much better luck in the field of baseball. The Arizona Diamondbacks beat the San Diego Padres, while the Philadelphia Phillies has a blowout against the Washington Nationals.
Bryce Harper, deep right center, way gone. Upper deck, 8-2 Phillies.
Bryce Harper returns to Washington with the Phillies. Harper was not greeted with open arms by the National fans, though, but boos. And his former teammate Max Scherzer struck him out twice before he got a hit. The Phillies won in the end with a total of 8 runs to the Nationals 2. The game in the West was closer in runs, though. The Arizona Diamondbacks won with a total of 8 runs to San Diego Padres 5. The University of North Carolina has placed its Hall of Fame women's basketball coach and her assistants on paid administrative leave. Head coach Sylvia Hatchell has been at UNC for 33 seasons. University officials are only saying the decision is due to issues raised by student athletes and others. The school spokesperson has not said what those issues are. Hatchell led the Tar Heels to a national title in 1994 and has 8 ACC championships with the team, and has taken the Tar Heels to 3 Final Fours. Hatchell issued a statement saying she will cooperate fully with the review. NFL star Tom Brady is a jokester. He tweeted on Monday that he was retiring and that in his spare time, he'll be tweeting. The tweet was shared 48,000 times. The New England Patriots quarterback officially joined Twitter on April Fool's Day to make the fake announcement. An hour later, he shared a second tweet asking, "Was this a bad joke?" The official Patriots Twitter account responded with a GIF saying, "Yup." The Patriots have 6 Super Bowl wins, including this year's game against the Los Angeles Rams. Brady enters his 20th NFL season in 2019, all spent with the Patriots. We'll be right back.
Truth is, I'm impressed. I haven't been asked such intelligent questions in a long time. Nice.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
What?
You may remember last week's story on 9 nurses from Maine in the same maternity ward who were pregnant all at the same time.
Yeah, well, it looks like a group of nurses in Sacramento, California have them beat. 10 nurses, all which work in the same labor and delivery unit, are now expecting. On top of those 10 nurses who are expecting, there are already 3 from the team that gave birth just months ago. 3 of the 10 nurses are expected to have the same due date for their children to come. And you thought I was done, but the other employees on their floor, they're also expecting. 3 other employees are also expecting. So.
Wow, that is quite a team they've got there. Big, strong, powerful women.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
I guess that is kind of a team effort.
It is.
Oh, yeah, it's a team effort.
Different setup.
Yeah,
well, thanks so much for joining our show today.
For more information on our stories, or to share them with your friends, check out our website at universe.byu.edu/newsline.
And have a great day.